Welcome to Meat Minute Monday with Farmers Market. Today we're going to talk about storage of food. We often get asked how long can I keep meat or seafood for in the fridge or freezer, and we're going to tell you how today. Now the biggest, most important factor when you're storing food is air. Make sure there is no air in the container, in the bag, anywhere in the product. When you store it in especially into the freezer. And we'll show you a short video later in this episode as well, how to do that without having a vacuum sealer. Now, if you've got raw meat, you can keep that in the fridge for around 2 to 3 days. If you've got cooked, so you've cooked some beef stew or something and you've got some leftovers, you can keep that in your fridge for around 2 to 3 days as well, okay, after it's been cooked. They do say you can keep it up to 4 days, but personally I'd say 3 days at most, and then I'd look to move it to the freezer. If you move meat to the freezer, once it's been cooked, you can then keep it in the freezer for up to 6 months. If you've got raw meat that you haven't cooked and it has never been frozen and you want to move that to the freezer, you can keep that 6 to 12 months quite easily, okay? On the condition that the bag that you're keeping the meat in is airtight. Now I'll show you these 2 pieces of fish. These are 2 pieces of barramundi. One bag I put a hole in it a few weeks ago and one I haven't. And you'll be able to tell the difference. So come have a look. Here we have 2 pieces of fish. This one is airtight and this one has a hole in it. So there's some air that's been in there. And you can tell the difference. This piece of fish is airtight, it's in prime condition, and that will be amazing to eat. Whereas this one is obviously has a hole in it. So you can see the freezer burn is already coming through there. The bag's not airtight, so the quality of that fish will have deteriorated quite substantially. Okay, so if you have meat and you've ordered, say, a 3 kilo piece of ribeye and you haven't eaten it all, you want to portion it up and put it in the freezer. How do you do it without having a vacuum pack machine? Okay, so watch this video and we'll tell you how.
It's a method called the water displacement method, and it's really great for if you're going to freeze food, store food in the fridge, or if you're going to cook sous vide. Now what you do is you start by putting your food in a plastic bag. This is some beef chuck. Then you seal the plastic bag almost all the way, leaving just about an inch open. Next you take a tub or a pot of water and you gently lower the food down into it. Now as the food goes down, the water pressure is going to push all of the air out of that bag. You want to keep going down until just that little corner of the bag that you left open is about to be submerged. And just before it goes underwater, you seal it off. And there we have food that is stored in a completely air-free bag with no vacuum sealer.